What have you done recently that took courage? I bet you something you've done you didn't even give yourself for that was very courageous. Are you giving yourself credit for stepping out of the box? Thinking outside of the box, doing something that you wouldn't have done before? Maybe go to the grocery store without your mask this week. That was courageous. And we're going to talk about more things that actually took courage in your life that you didn't give yourself credit for here. But right now, I am Deb Meyer, CEO of OdorXit, and today we are with the renovation of the mind, and we're going to talk about courage. I bet you don't give yourself courage or don't give yourself credit for a lot of the things that you do in your daily life that are courageous. But if this is the first time you're joining us, please go down and hit the subscribe button. That will get you notified anytime we post new videos. And one of my courageous commitments, if I say it out loud, you know, you're more apt to do it. You're going to be accountable, is do another video this week besides renovation of the mind. It may not get posted, but I commit to recording it and see how well I do. Stepping out of the box, doing something that you've been putting off for who knows why, that's courage to get up and do that. Are you aware of that? Do you know what the definition of courage is? If you do, if you've got things you've done this past week that are courageous in your life, please go down and type them in at the bottom and let us know that you're out there, that you are working on courageous things, and you're going to be our star performer this week. Anything, stepping out of the box, stepping out of your comfort zone, that takes courage. Ignore all those noises behind me. That's what happens with live. So, what is the definition of courage? Well, it's not necessarily running into a burning fire to save somebody. That's bravery, that's courage. But, you know, maybe it was stupidity depending on where the fire was and where you ran in. So, to have courage doesn't have to be these heroic things that our first line of defense people are doing right now, our hospital workers. Certainly that's courage, and we appreciate them, and I don't want to take anything away from them. Could I be doing that? Well, I'm not medically inclined, so I wouldn't be much help, but I could certainly be a volunteer. And for me, stepping out of my comfort zone, that would be courage. For them, going out and being a nurse or a doctor or just a helper in these tough times when everybody's sick or got germs, and you're just following your heart, following in your trade, that is courageous. But just like I said, making a video that I've put off, that's courageous to get out of my comfort zone and go do something I haven't done before. How many books have you read the past week since we talked before? Have you done something that you've wanted to do, promised to do, haven't done? Maybe that's courage in your book. Stepping out of your comfort zone. Courage is actually the ability to do something that frightens you. So it could be healthcare. If you don't know much about doctors and illness and very frightened by this virus that's going around, going out and helping somebody with that germs could be very courageous for you. Standing up to a bully, that's pretty courageous too. Courageous, did I say that right? That's pretty courageous too. Teaching your children how to stand up to a bully. There are just all kinds of ways to be creative. I can't even speak. Courageous. I want to say creative, but that's not what I want to say. There are many ways to show your courage. And, you know, things that you wish you would have done. Jumping out of an airplane. Probably not going to do that today, but that would be courageous if that's something you wanted to do and haven't had the gumption to do it, that could be very courageous. You know, there's lots of things you can do with the right education, so you know what you're doing, to get it done. That's courageous. That's courage. How about success? What if you don't get success? What about failure? After a failure, what does it take to continue? It takes courage to continue, to get up and try again, to not give up. Not giving up takes courage. So how many of you have closed your door, turned off the world, and hidden in your home because of the radio, the news, all that's going on outside in our sequestered environment? How many of you are willing to step out May 1st, tomorrow, to get back in the swing of things? Go get your hair cut. Go to the doctor's appointments that aren't emergencies. That's courage. There's so many things that is considered courage that I don't think we give ourselves credit for. It's a story I wanted to tell. Lauren Daigle. I don't think I've ever told this story. She is a singer who had mono, and apparently she was on bed rest or bedroom rest for 2 years of her young life. What did she do during that time? She could have laid in bed, watched TV. I guess after 2 years, you know, you got to figure out something positive to pass the time. Read books. Maybe you do read educational TV. She wrote songs and perfected her singing. And now she's a top recording artist. I think she was on one of those singing shows. And now she's got pop songs and first place Emmy Award winners, whatever the award is for. You know, I don't know this stuff. You can tell. So that took courage for her to get past her sickness and do something outside of her comfort zone with her life, with her voice, and be the star that she is today. So courage comes in all sizes and shapes. And if you're out there, tell me what you've done that's courageous. There's all different kinds of courage. Moral courage. Are we willing to stand up to the guy who's doing the wrong thing and tell them? Maybe cheating on your husband, cheating on your wife. Moral courage to stand up, and if you know it from a friend, maybe you know it about a friend. Maybe you tell them. Maybe it's appropriate to tell them. Honesty. You know, honesty and truth is a tough thing. Whether it's in the political environment, whether it's in your household. Maybe somebody lost their job and didn't tell anybody, and they're pulling the wool over their eyes. Honesty is a tough thing. There's also emotional courage. And that's probably what we face on a daily basis. The bully, that's probably emotional courage. Facing him, I mean, that's fearful. I remember being in high school, and this girl wanted to fight me. I think I backed down. I didn't know how to fight. You know, I was at the wrong end of my brother's fist a couple times. I never fought back. That wasn't what girls did then, I guess. I don't know. I had no desire, but standing up to her, standing up to people in high school, taking, not drinking when everybody else is drinking, not doing drugs when everybody else is doing drugs. Emotional courage to stand up against them and not go with the crowd. What a tough decision. Emotional courage. Or maybe those instances are social courage, going against the crowd. Intellectual courage. Sharing your knowledge. You're not sharing your knowledge. When to be right. My husband, as a kid, he's right a lot. Sometimes it's hard to take, hard to deal with. But often he's right, and he predicts things that if you don't do it this way, it's going to go bad. And he's lost jobs over that. He's lost friendships over that. Being right. So having courage to speak your mind and take the consequences. Took him a while to get over losing his job because it was a great job. He learned a lot there and excelled. And he hasn't talked about it in the last 10 years. But before that, I love him anyway. Just saying. Courage is a funny thing. So what can you do this week to be courageous? Can you help somebody outside of your home because they're taking their first steps and not worrying about the virus? Can you protect yourself and not worry about the virus? What are things that you can do to be courageous? How about read that book you promised yourself you've been reading? Follow up on a decision. Reach out to others. How many people have made those phone calls to their family that we talked about weeks ago? That's courageous. Picking up that telephone. If you're in sales, picking up that phone to make those calls to people who might reject you. Is there a rejectional courage on that list? Calling people to ask them for a sale, whatever you're selling, especially in these hard times. Are we really, they're focused on their health, on others' health, on people being around them. And if they're healthy, it's courageous to call and ask for a sale. Obviously, the words are a little different, but it's still courageous to pick up that phone. Have you called your family members that might be affected by this? That's courageous. If you haven't talked to them in months, a year, or years, it's courageous to pick up that phone and call them. There's so many opportunities for us to be courageous and just improve our lives. It's amazing what being courageous will do to us, due to our mindset, our well-being. Makes you stand up a little taller, smile a little bigger, because you help somebody. And when you help somebody else, you help yourself. So courage takes all forms. And I thought we had a comment here. Oh, we got bleeps popping up. So what have you done that's courageous? What are you going to do that's courageous this week? Getting out of your comfort zone. I don't have any other courageous stories to tell. What I do have, though, is, before we go on, this is another test.
We were made to be courageous. We were made to lead the way. We could be the generation that finally breaks the chains.
It's our choice to be courageous, to break our chains, to go out and do something good for somebody else. That's what courage is, to do something good that we wouldn't have done otherwise. We had to reach down somewhere in ourselves and help somebody else, whether it's with our words, our actions. Those are all courageous things. That's all we're talking about for today. I wanted to play my little musical again. Remember, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, we'd love for you to hit the subscribe button and you'll be notified whenever we have new videos. Look for us next week, and the topic is going to be, what is your why? So you want to figure that out in the meantime? What are you passionate about? Why do you do what you do? So think about that. Bring your comments. We look forward to hearing from you. And have an awesome, courageous week. Bye.